जय श्री माताजी। आज उपस्थित सभी विश्व के सभी सहयोगियों भाई बहनों को आज के इस सुबह के ध्यान सत्र में हार्दिक स्वागत है। श्री माताजी को प्रणाम करके हम सामूहिक बंधन लेते हैं। इसी अवस्था को बनाए रखते हुए अब हम 3 महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र का उच्चारण करते हैं।
सरस्वती
दोनों हथेली और तालू में संतुलन अवस्था की ओर देखना है। राइट हैंड तालू के ऊपर रखते हुए सहस्रार खुलने का अनुभव देखिए। राइट हैंड गोद में रखते हुए लेफ्ट हैंड से भी ये अनुभव चेक करें। लेफ्ट हैंड तालू के 2 इंच ऊपर सहस्रार चक्र की अनुभूति और हथेली में बहने वाला चैतन्य को देखिए। धीरे से हाथ नीचे ले। इसी अवस्था में अब हम कुछ क्षण ध्यान में बैठते हैं। इसी अवस्था में अब हम परम पूज्य श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी आत्मसात करते हैं।
What you are seeking was to know yourself. In all religions it is said, know thyself. Is a common thing all of them have said. This is one point which is absolutely there in every religion, know thyself. Because without knowing yourself, you will not know God. You will not know spirituality. So the first step was to know yourself. And that one, people did all kinds of tricks with you, that they taught you in a different ways and tried to actually loot you and cheat you. All those things have happened, it's finished. So then you come to Sahajayoga and you get your self-realization. But what is the purpose of self-realization? Is to know God. Or the goddess. That is the purpose of self-realization. But after getting self-realization, what should happen to you? Many of you have lost interest in nonsensical things like drugs and all those things. You have lost interest in reading also useless books. You have lost interest in other habits like drinking and all that. But that's not enough. That's not enough. That would happen in any way. What has to happen by knowing God is that why does God wants you to know Him? Because He wants to see His reflection in you. He wants to see your reflection, that's why He has created you, and He wants to see His reflection in you. Same with the goddess. She has given you self-realization because she wants to see her reflection in you. So you have to prepare yourself for that reflection, which is so much purer, beautiful, loving, compassionate, and above all, full of wisdom. So this is the point one has to reach, where you understand you have to have wisdom. If you are lacking in wisdom, then you are not a self-realized person. At the level of Shri Krishna, you see, he wants you to become one part and parcel of the Virata. Although Viratangana also wants the same thing, that you should become part and parcel of the Virata. Not because you are realized souls now, so you go about thinking you are perfectly all right, you don't have to do anything about it. What do you do beyond this is the point. That after self-realization, you have to see the reflection that should be within you from the lives of these people like Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna was first born in a very difficult situation, as you know, and he was carried from there to Gokul, where he was brought up by Yashoda. Now there he started his playfulness. So you have to be playful in life. You have to create fun and joy. He didn't say that you sit down like an old sage somewhere in the Himalayas But you mix up with children, you talk to them, you play with them, have fun. At the same time, he was destroying negative forces which acted upon him. In his playfulness only he has done it. As a child only he has done it. How matured he was as a child, you can see that he killed Putana, and there are two horrible Rakshasas also. He killed them. At the same time, he was playing with the gopis and teasing them, troubling them, making fun of them. Why? Because he wanted them to be playful. And all kinds of celebrations he arranged. He had once a big rain came and he lifted the complete mountain on his fingertips. That time, these people should have understood that it's not possible. It's a miracle. But he was just standing there with one finger at the mountain. In a very simple, unassuming manner, he was doing all that to protect all the boys who were playing with him. Then he went and killed Kalia, the one who was a big snake, in the water. In the water, this horrible fellow was creating venom, and by which many people were killed. It took him no time, and he jumped inside that horrible water of Yamuna, from where he rescued, in a way, all the people by killing or hitting, or you can say that by winning over this Kalia. But the wives of the big serpents asked him that please forgive him. And he forgave. All these things show a child of 6-7 years doing all these great things without feeling what he was doing. We can say that without even thinking about it. But he achieved it because he was aware that he was Shri Krishna. So first thing, you have to be aware that you are self-realized people. You are not ordinary people to behave in an ordinary way. You are special people, made specially to reflect the qualities of God Almighty. It's not expected that you go and kill Kalia. But the situation is such today that you are all the time protected. You are all the time protected. No one can harm you. No one can kill you. And you can be looked after because you are Sahajogis. Now what should be the attitude of a Sahajogi towards taking decisions? One should understand. It should be a spontaneous decision. You don't have to tally it with this, go there and find out, and immediately, spontaneous, like Sri Krishna who jumped inside the river. So in the same way, you should have a very spontaneous decision for anything. Now you want to buy, say, a carpet. All right, you go in the shop and immediately you should know which is the one. In every walk of life, you should have a very spontaneous decision, instant decision. But what I find, the style is very different. They'll go from shop to shop, then make a list of it, then make all the measurements, then go home and say that we'll decide it tomorrow. That's not the way a Sahajogi behaves. Sahajayogi has to decide everything absolutely spontaneously at that moment. It should be like this. Now somebody is getting drowned. So the first impulse should be that you have to save. And how do you save? You jump in the water. Because you are protected. Nothing can happen to you. So just jump in the water and you'll save the person. Minimum of minimum, this should be your attitude. This should be your temperament, that you take a very spontaneous decision. All this thinking and all kinds of decision making and having a big conference for decisions and all that, not needed. In day-to-day life also, you have to be like that. Also in every political life, economic life, or any other life you have to lead, you have to be very spontaneous. How do you become spontaneous? What quality you have got? What is the weapon you have got to know what decision to take? Do you know? You have got vibrations. You have the feel of the vibration. And you know what vibrations are. You know what vibrations tell you and convey and communicate to you. They speak to you. So through your vibrations, you should know in a second what should you do. For example, now somebody told me that, Mother, when I came to Kabela, I felt tremendous vibration. It's a fact. But how many of you feel that way? Because your sensitivity is not yet developed. You have to be sensitive about your vibrations. You should know, looking at anyone, sitting next to anyone, even shaking hands with anyone, you should know what sort of vibration that person has. This kind of sensitivity if you develop, then you will definitely take a very spontaneous decision. You know, I'm very good at it. I bought this Kabela in 5 minutes. Really 5 minutes. When I came here, they said you can't go up because you have a big car. So the mayor said, all right, come along, I'll take you in my car. So I went with him on the car, on that car, and I saw it. It was all dilapidated, no doubt. It was all absolutely in a shambles, all right. And looked like a ghostly place, no doubt. And everybody who was with me, they said, wow, what a place, Mother. You can't buy that. So I told the mayor, I'm buying it. When? Today, now. He was amazed. I said, you tell me how do I buy? He said, very easy, in this Italy, you have to buy like this, that you pay 1/3 of the price, all right? And then you can occupy. If you find something wrong with the place, you can give up. But then you will not get your money. But if the other fellow is selling you, says no, then he has to pay double. I said, very good bargain. I'm buying, I've told you I'm buying, I'll buy. And everybody was surprised what Mother was doing. So what decided was the vibrations. Vibrations of the place. Just decided I said I'm buying. That way they took me to 7, I think, castles. I said no. Outside only I could say no. And they were surprised I didn't even go inside. I said, ask them what was here. They said nunnery. I said, see. Now, you should develop that kind of a spontaneous decision. Then you will be amazed how in such a short time you can really achieve such great things. But that doesn't mean that you all should do that way. First, you should have that sensitivity of vibration. If you have that sensitivity of vibrations, then I would say you are now matured in Sahajayoga. So the maturity has to be brought in. You cannot just say now, it's all right, I've got self-realization, I can do this. First you tally your sense of sensitivity. So now how do you know? For example, you take a spontaneous decision and find that you have got nothing. It's all nonsense. Possible. But you can see for yourself that your decisions, if they're spontaneous, if they fail, if they are wrong, if there are some mistakes, or that will make you suffer, whether economically, politically, in every way, then your whole value system will be judged very well how far you have gone into Sahajayoga, how far you have achieved your self-realization, and where are you. This is what is the way to test yourself. You should not be afraid of failures and not get enamored by success, because you are self-realized souls. Of course, if you are sensitive, immediately you will know what is it. But of course, I wouldn't say that you could have the same as I have, but you should try to. Now I've seen some people will praise some man, oh mother, he's so good, you must meet him, he's such a nice person, and he's of such a help, and this will happen and that will happen. I said, all right, you show me a photograph. I said, I'm sorry, I don't want to meet him. They can't understand. Such a great man, he'll be a minister tomorrow, and I don't want to meet him. And you find just next day a big report about him in the newspaper that he is a very bad man. So you must tally your experience and your understanding of what you have decided spontaneously. But still I would say keep to spontaneous decisions. Don't think about it, how it should work out, what should we do. It has a very far-fetched influence on your mind also, that you see, that you know what is right and what is wrong. I don't know how many of you have seen the house I've built. The another side of Sri Krishna was that he was extremely creative. In his childhood he did all these things, these pranks. And when he became a grown-up person, he became the king of Dwarika, of that area. And he used to dress up like a king only. After all, he was a king. When he was a child, he used to wear a small little piece of feather from the peacock. But when he became the king, he was wearing all the things, and he used to sit on the throne and talk to people in that manner. All that greatness was there, and he was extremely creative. He built a beautiful, very, very beautiful castle, or you can say palace, in Dwarika, out of gold. Can you believe it? Sri Krishna did it. And it was all then covered with water. Now the intellectuals in India, all trained by Western people, I think, said that it's not possible. There's nothing in the water, and he never built his palace there. It's all a story, just like a myth. But some people believed in it, and they dug up. They went down and they found there was a very big palace. There was gold a little bit left, but not all of it was there. And they were amazed, such a huge, big palace he had made. Under the water it had gone, but it was there. Like this, all these incarnations who came were extremely creative. If you are not creative, what's the use of self-realization? Now, what is the greatest creative thing you can do very easily is to make others Sahajogis. That is the easiest and most joy-giving thing, is to make others Sahajogis and give them the blessings of the divine which they have been seeking for ages. By giving them, you don't know what a solace, what a blessing you give them. So now you have got your self-realization. You got it very easily, I must say. They all say that it is a instant nirvana. Sahajayoga is instant nirvana, it's true. But whatever you get so easily and instantly, you don't understand the value of that. They always say for India that they got their freedom so easily. They didn't get it that easily. That's why they do not value it. But it's true. If you get anything free, firstly, and without any special effort, then you don't value it. You don't understand. You think it's a matter of right. But do you know how much people have suffered for getting self-realization? They used to go on the Himalayas, stand on one leg, sometimes on their heads, for months together. And they didn't get realization. I've heard of some people who lived in a room for 28 years to get self-realization. And why they lived like that? Because they thought by keeping away from other people, other bad atmosphere, everything, they might get realization. They never got it. So, one must understand, though you have got it very easily, is something so precious, so great. It's not very easy to get self-realization. You read about the people who are self-realized. Perhaps they did not even know how they got it. They did not know even about the Kundalini, but they got it. Through their guru, maybe their efforts. Buddha, how much he had to suffer till he gets his realization. Think of him. How he got his realization. I mean, you shudder to see of his life. Ultimately dies of hunger and poverty. But nothing happened to you. You have got it without any difficulties, in a very sweet manner, all of you. Nothing, you don't have to pay, you don't have to do anything about it. But that doesn't mean you should not value it. Like a seed which is put in the Mother Earth, spontaneously sprouts and gives a life to the primule, which grows, can grow into a shrub and then into a tree. But you have to put water, and you have to have the care of a gardener or someone. In your case, you are the one who has to do all that. First of all, you have to put the nourishment of compassion and love. Have you got that compassion and love? Do you love people? Like somebody told me today, I was shocked, I don't like children. I said, you don't like children? No, I like others' children, not mine. Just imagine. How can you be doing that? How can you say such a thing? You don't like your own children. Anything. First of all, for all of you, I would say that you should never say, I like and I don't like. These are anti-mantras. I like this. It's very common. Who are you? I don't like this carpet. I don't like that silver thing. Who are you? Can you make one like that? To take a decision of that kind is also shows they think it's very spontaneous. It's not. It has come from your conditioning. That you think you have a right to say, I don't like, I don't want. But who are you? If you are the spirit, you will never use these words. Because it might hurt somebody. You will never say something that will hurt others. You will never do anything that will be dangerous for others. But always you will say something that would be extremely loving and compassionate and peace-giving. You will emit joy for others. There is the power of spirit that it gives joy to others. If you are a glum person, grumpy person, then you are not self-realized. You should be able to give joy and love and compassion to others. And it should happen absolutely spontaneously. There's a story about a saint in India, in Maharashtra. So they all used to take water in a container called as kavada and would take it all the way to Gujarat to a temple of Shri Krishna. That was regarded as a great, I can say, surrendering to Shri Krishna. So that saint also carried water in that container, this had covered. All the way he carried it from his village in Maharashtra. And when he reached the temple, at the foot of the temple, he saw a donkey, very thirsty, dying out of thirst. So he gave that water to that donkey. Everybody said, imagine you brought this water for miles together, for days together, to be put on the deity here, and now you have given it to this donkey. He said, you don't know. God has come all the way down here to take the water. See the attitude that he took. So for a self-realized person, the compassion should be like that. Of very generous nature. If you are not generous, if you are miserly, always worried about your money and saving of it, then firstly, you are not a matured Sahajayogi. You are not. Apart from that, this kind of money will never give you any happiness. Miserliness is against spirit. Spirit is extremely generous. Extremely generous. It never uh, tries to save something or cheat people or steal something is out of question, because there is no greed left in it. There is no greed at all. And that is why such a person who is a realized soul cannot be greedy. Has to be extremely generous. I have seen many people like that who have been extremely generous and who have been very understanding about the problems of others. While a Sahajayogi will have his own problems, he is not a Sahajayogi at all. He is there to solve the problems of others and not to solve his own problems and go about talking about, say, this is the problem I have. Now this is a new word that has developed in modern times. They never used to use the word problem before, I tell you. Only for geometry we use this word problem. But now it has started with, there's no problem. They're all in a problem. Actually, they are problems, I think. So, what you have to do is to understand that you should not give your problems to others. You should not ask for anything. Please do this for me, please do that for me. It's very surprising that people try to sort of take advantage of others. Now, some people like to visit some countries, so they will ask you, please call me, I would love to come to your country. And a generous Sahajayogi will say, all right, come along. Now, who is failing here is the person who asked. You shouldn't ask for anything whatsoever, because you are complete. Not that only you are satisfied, but a complete, what can anybody give you? All desires just disappear when you are in complete shape. Like today I was coming, I saw lots of stars had come out. I said, as soon as the moon will come, they'll all disappear. In the same way, when you are complete, you do not expect anybody to do anything for you. On the contrary, you want to find out what you can do for others. You become the others in a way that whatever is the problem of others, you take upon your head. You jump into it. It's a very, very interesting growth that should come in you. It should happen to all of you because you have got your self-realization. You develop a kind of a personality which only lives for others, not for oneself. You'll be amazed. You can live anywhere. You can sleep anywhere. You can have food, you need not have food. Whatever type of food you get, it's all right. Because you are so satisfied. On the contrary, you'd like to cook for others, give them food, do whatever. Possible, you try to do as long as you can work it out, you do it. But there are people who have only their own problems. They are not Sahajogis. How can the spirit have problems? How can that happen? So just understand that you are now the spirit. And beyond everything. So your creativity also goes to other dimensions. Of course, you start giving realization to people. You create art. You know Baba Mama. He was very bad at literature and he didn't know any language. He was very good for mathematics. because my mother was a mathematician. But language he did not. I used to write his essays. He was so bad. But after realization, he wrote such beautiful poems, unbelievable. Nobody can believe this Baba could do that, because he didn't know any language well. I used to write his essays, as I told you. So, amazingly, from where he started writing Urdu poetry, Marathi poetry, Hindi poetry, and one of my brothers asked him, "How do you get this Urdu poetry?" He said, "Shri Mataji she tells me. Everything she says to say, Mataji tells me." So the creativity within you is just flowers. And you are amazed at yourself how this creativity has come in. Now imagine for a person who is a mathematician becoming suddenly a poet. I mean, it's an impossible situation. And you have these capacities. You have all these capacities that you can become very creative. And you have to be creative. In every way. I am very creative, I must say. I am all the time working out something which comes out very well. And also I don't have that interest as normally people have, that it should be praised by everyone or it should be sort of very much in the newspapers. No interest. You create for creation. For the sake of creation, you create. And you just enjoy that creation. And you become very adaptable, or you become so congenial with all the things people say, talk, or write at them. They will be offensive, or they could be also praising you and all that. So you don't know that they are praising you. Even sometimes when you Shri Mataji ki jai, I also say, and then I forget they are talking about me. Somehow you are above all that. And you are there, and you just don't understand why human beings behave like that. Why their behavior is so funny. Even when they come to Sahajayoga, I see they have a great desire to be leaders, or they have a great desire to be a great organizer of Sahajayoga. So very well known in Sahajayoga. They want to have an international fame as a great Sahajayogi. But they do not think that what creativity I have shown. What have I created? Just all these things are so common in human beings that they always want others to praise them, to have a very big sort of a exposure. Of what? If you are a spirit, everybody knows. What is there to expose? What is there to show off? What is there to come forward? Even if you are at the back, there is light, you know there is light. So you have to get out of your darkness, because you are the light and you spread light. Instead of, if you are in the darkness, what light can you spread? So your spirit cannot have problem. It has no fear, but above all it has wisdom, tremendous wisdom. And that wisdom is the one sign of you being a very higher personality. As I told you, this is evolution, and when you are transformed, You are evolved of a very different nature you become. And you are to stand out. If Sahajogis are like other people, then what's the use of taking to Sahajayoga? What was Christ? He was the son of a carpenter. He never got education. But what did he do? He was the Spirit. He reflected God within him. And that's why he got himself crucified also. Now in Sahajayoga you don't have to get crucified. There are all not such testing things for you. But your value system is to be checked. You must find out how are you working out through introspection. You should ask yourself, so well now, Mr. Sahajogi, how are you? Are you indulging into all these things that these people who are not self-realized are doing? Just try to find out. Because the growth of Sahajayoga is shown in your behavior, in your styles, on your face. There is no wrinkles on a person like this. He has no worry. You don't worry, then how will you get wrinkles? Such a person doesn't get upset with anything. I mean, on the contrary, he laughs at things. Once in a church where I was in Switzerland, one lady came to hit me with the Bible, and I started laughing. I said, what a thing, and I have to be hit by a Bible, you see. And she got such a fright that I was laughing, and I was saying, look at the stupidity of this lady coming to hit me with the Bible. I mean, I can understand stone or anything else, but Bible will never hit me.
इसी निर्विचार अवस्था में अब हम कुछ क्षण निशब्द ध्यान करते हैं। जय श्री माता जी। श्री माता जी के चरणों पर प्रार्थना अर्पित करते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपावंत होकर हमें श्री गणेश जैसा अबोध बनाइए। एक माँ के प्रति जो बच्चे का समर्पण होना चाहिए, ऐसा समर्पण हमें दीजिए। श्री माता जी, आपके चरणों पर कोटि कोटि नमन। अब हम सामूहिक बंधन लेते हैं। आज का ध्यान सत्र यहीं पर समाप्त होता है। जय श्री माता जी।